Hello, welcome to the ninth lecture of this course. Um, the first of the third week. Today's class, we will start something new, something important, where it will, on top of what we learn, it will be a block, uh, a new block that will help elevate your understanding of yourself, of your life. Not only that, but once you allow this teaching to understand more about yourself, you will then able to understand other people's a lot more as well. And we find that in our life experiences, if we went through something before and you find someone going through the same thing as you are able to, without much connection with them prior, able to feel them, touch them, and connect with them at the deepest level, even if you might have not talked before or even know of their name, but able to feel everything that they felt, able to understand all the thought, all the troubles that they go through. And why is that? We find that we are able to understand them because we went through the same thing before. Because we understand ourselves when we were there, when they are right where they are, in the moment they are right now. Because we understand our own mind, our own self, therefore we understand other people's too. And that's the core of Buddhism here. And the core of this practice is to understand so much about yourself that you can answer all the questions of your own and able to have the capability to overcome them. As someone who lived a life no longer bogged down, hindered by questions, by unknown, by problems, no longer bogged down, hindered by obstacles, things you can't overcome, then I believe that person should be very, very happy for that person no longer are not able to go to the place he or she wants to go, be the person that he or she want to be, like a king or queen of the world. And with that, I feel they might have a bit more compassion. Once they already achieve everything that they want to achieve, to be truly happy, truly fulfilled, and find success in everything they do, they might start to look at other people and see, oh, maybe now that I've beaten the game, at the peak, top of the world, able to do whatever I want, then how about I help other people too? So I can help them, share with them what I know, what I learned, my struggles, so that other people too can overcome. If I want, if this goal to be someone who are the most capable and the wisest, if that is the person who I want to be, then why is it that other people doesn't want it to? The best thing you can give other people is the thing that you are giving to yourself right now. For that human, we always strive for the very best. We want the very best for ourselves. And so when you wish the best upon someone, it should be that you wish uh, upon them the same that you wish upon yourself. That you point to them the end destination, the goal that you're going to, because you see that that's the best for you, and it should also be the best for them. If it's truly right, truly righteous, truly wholesome and prosperous. There's a conversation a few days ago um, that someone asked me of a bit more about normality, about sila, yeah, and how people change and how to be the person they want to be. So I talked about the importance of role model and why it's so significant in our society, especially for our younger ones, where as we become new parents, people always say, you should be the role model for your son, for your daughter. Behave yourself, conduct yourself properly so that your child will grow up looking up to you or mimic your good characters, your good virtues. And why is that? Why do we in schools also teach about different heroes, men, women, that we distinguish among their peers, that we put them up high above ourselves. We exemplify, we give them, we build statues, name things after them. Why do we have to teach our kids about those individuals too? It's because we want them to become like those exemplary individuals, for them to become like them, like these heroes of the past and of the present, which make us think about the actors, actresses, of how they hone their craft. You find that in the big screen, the actors, actresses have to embody someone, embody their character, so that they can then bring that character to life on in front of the camera on the big film. It's the same concept as in Thailand, where we have a word called suam. Suam means to embody or to wear. So for a person to act like a someone who's going through hardship, like a beggar, for example, he or she have to embody that character, that person, to go on research and study how does people like this live, what are their mindset, what are their normality, their thought pattern, speech pattern, behavior pattern, so they can then become them. In that sense, isn't the same as role model too. The person who we are is the person who embodies. So if we want our children to be hero, then we would advocate for this film to have a strong, confident protagonist, uh, strong female lead, strong male lead that can be example, so that our young ones can imagine, embody. When we are facing hardship, some of us think, some of us find ourselves unable to take that leap forward, unable to go for, do what they want to do, because their body froze, because they don't have that encouragement, that passion, that motivation to actually put into practice. When someone is being hurt in front of you, you ask yourself, why is it that I can't go and intervene? Why can't I stand up to those who can't stood up for themselves? Until you ask yourself, what would my role model do? What would my hero do? And for that, somehow you have that fire inside you, that passion that say, oh, my hero, he would have done this, or she would have done that, and you follow through with it. What changed? What enabled you from that thought? What enabled you to follow through with your decision? You ought to follow through because although exterior you are the same person, but inside you are a different person now. Inside you are that hero. You are that person that you look up to. Yeah. That person, that persona, then controls this human body to move forward. You embody a hero. You embody your role model. The reason I'm saying all this is to show that we can really embody someone, and you can be someone and the person that you want to be. Because this human body is nothing but a husk, but a empty mannequin that become alive depending on who you are at the very moment. You find yourself become a, a person that you might distaste when succumb with anxiety, a person who think this way, speak this way, act this way when he or she is anxious, become a meanie when angry, become a naughty person when bored, agitated, and don't want to be in the classroom anymore. We have different person within ourselves, different version of us. And that version is like different actors, actresses that comes to life by you accepting them and assuming their role. And you become the actor, actresses yourself, playing that part, playing the part of a meanie, of a hero, of a child being bored, of an angry person, a lustful person. We become the protagonist of our own movie. And it's all start from something that you all might be familiar with but never give importance. Before we go on, let me summarize what I just talked about. You yourself are just empty husk, a plain body that becomes alive depending on who you are at the moment, depending on what version of you. You can allow yourself to go on normally, regularly in your routine, allowing different self, different version of you to come alive, to be someone in the morning, someone after lunch, someone after breakfast, someone in the after lunch, someone in the afternoon, someone in the evening, someone at night. You find yourself different person, different personality, and it can change rapidly when you meet someone and you crash with them, have a big conflict, boop, change from someone lively and happy in your workplace. Your boss come around, become someone inconfident, anxious. Is he looking behind my back? Is he looking over my shoulders? Change already. But you can also, so instead of allowing your life to be dictated by faith, by whatever comes about, we can, with your own freedom, free will, you can order your mind. You can tell the mind, hey, I want to be this person. I want to embody my role model. That's why role model is so important. This is the person I want to be. Even if you don't have a role model, you can have an ideal. Today, I'll be a kind person. I'll be a compassionate person. When I go to work, I'll try to smile. I'll try to say, okay, be genuine to my boss, to my colleagues, to my subordinate. By ordering your mind, you set a goal. And your mind will remind you, help you achieve that goal by telling with that clarity, reminding you every day, hey, remember your resolution this morning. Now you want to be nice, you want to be good. Now, so once you're presented with that opportunity, your mind will remind you, and it's up to you to decide or not. But because you already made that as a goal, when you hear them, you say, okay, now you're right. I want to be this person today, so I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Little bit, little increments of improvement every day, every day, every day. Even when you crash face with someone, you want to be a kind person, but this person, your arch nemesis, now your rival comes to you, person you hate. When they come, your mind will remind you, hey, careful now. Now you make this resolution, you can be a nice person who won't shout. But this person know that it's your kryptonite. So brace yourself. Brace yourself. Know clearly that right now you're gonna enter this situation and be fully aware of yourself, of your surrounding. Control yourself first and foremost. Take things slow, take things nice. Now you are gonna be this person. That will help you manage that conversation, manage that meeting, manage that interaction, that event, because you have a goal. Because you have a goal, your mind will help you navigate through it. In the beginning, it might not be perfect. That's perfect. That's all right. Can you ask yourself truthfully, what journey doesn't start off like this? Every journey start off rough, start off rocky up and down, but at least we are becoming that person today, 1%. Becoming that person already, but 1%, 2%, 3%. So you're improving. You're already your hero, your role model when you order your mind, and you already become it. Just that it's not 100% yet. 1%, 2%, that's perfect. Every day, bit by bit by bit. Give it weeks and a few days, a few weeks, a few months. 100% all the time. You'll find that you'll change. Now, once you have summarized that and added a bit more, we're gonna go through the next segment. Something at the very core of Buddhism, at the very, very core. Everything that we talked about from the first week until now is to prepare ourselves for this topic right here. So that it will then not only elevate what you learn, but to understand more of yourself. It starts off with a cute sea turtle, a story that, for those who've been here before, have heard plenty of time, but never give it importance. Some of you might also think it's just a story, it's just an example, but I want you to really take it to heart this time. Listen to every word, follow through, think along, because it's a case study. Uh, Sure, it's a story, but it's truly a case study, a phenomenon that you might see yourself in one. Sea turtles, or animals in general, they are born into different circumstances. One, fortunate enough that they are born under the guise and care, guardianship, protection of their mom, their father, their parents. Uh, Like many who have their parents to nurture them, like human, for example. Able to teach them, help them find their true self, help them become the person that they want to be, help them um, see the danger in life, able to fit in the society, in that community. What's the proper behavior? What's the proper thought? Proper philosophy, proper speech, proper action that will bring harmony and rewards to yourself, yeah, prosperity to yourself and other people too, and to help teach them what to avoid, the philosophy, the thought pattern, speech and behavior to make sure that destruction, harm, and suffering are far away from them as much as possible, and they don't bring it to themselves and their community and their loved ones. That's how we grow as human. Some animal also fall in this category, but many is totally different. They don't have any parent, any guardian. They don't have anyone to tell them what to do, how to behave. Yet they live harmoniously. They live as if they are born to be like that. Yeah. And that's why we're gonna come talk about little sea turtles and try to see how is it that without any parents they able to behave as sea turtles and live harmoniously among one another. So a story goes where this tiny shell that houses the cute sea turtles laid down every year by the pregnant mother that finds a shore somewhere. Along the seashore, these shells are laid out and buried under the sand, now waiting for the right time. As the time comes, everything perfect. The season comes, and these sea turtles hatch out of the shell. So cute and tiny. They hatch out not knowing what happened. They break out of their shell and for the first time see the world around them and have no idea what's going on. If some can't even see properly yet, but they all of them know what to do. No matter in what direction they are facing, no matter if their shells fall to some direction, all of them will have to walk toward the sea, the seashore. Now the sound of the crashes attracts them for some reason. They say, here, let's go there. Let's go to the seashore. And they, being born for only a few seconds, a minute or two, start crawling one by one in flocks, in herds, toward the sea. No matter how strong the wave is, no matter how cold the water be, uh, no matter if they don't know or know that they can be underwater, they will still keep going, not hesitate. Unlike us, unlike baby human or kitten or puppies, who find that when they heard the strong wave crashing in, they already tremble in fear. When they are invited to the pool, they hesitate. Now, what is this? What is that? Let alone water, but even grass. If you held baby before and let them to go to let their bare feet touch the grass, they would, put their legs up not to touch the grass because somehow it have a reaction towards them. Yeah? But for these two, they don't have any reaction. They go down peacefully. In a vast sea of ocean, they know exactly where to swim to. They know that in this environment, these are the fishes that won't harm me. Like I can swim next to them, can gaze by them, I can interact with them without any issue. I know, and they also know that after they hatch out, they are quite hungry. So these are the thing to eat. They go straight down. They see them, they go and munch right away. Munch, munch, munch. And once they're full, they find that among the possible option that they can choose, this specific location, this specific environment, structure, building, natural building, underground, undersea, are a safe place, a safe haven for them. And they do so. They're able to live life happily, healthily, avoiding prey, avoiding food that might poison them, avoiding habitat that leave them exposed without anyone teaching them anything. I'm lucky being here, able to ask this question to many, many people and ask them the same day, the same thing I'm asking you. Why? Why do you think this cute little guy, without any parents, any guardian, able to know everything that helped him survive, help him behave like a sea turtle? Not only this one individual, but many, all sea turtles behave similarly. They have the same pattern. Why is that? The most common answer that we get here come from our intuition, our common sense. We say, oh, it must be instinct. Instinct is what tell them, dictate their life. But that didn't answer all the question, because in reality, life is not that simple. Life varies. Life has its shining moments, and life also has its not so pretty moments as well. As we look back at ourselves, we find that our journey of being a human goes have our own peak and our trenches, our highs and our lows. And you find that this exists for yourself and humans around you, your loved ones, also your pets, and also other beings and animals too. These sea turtles, although rely on their instincts, but they have vastly different lives. Their life, just like you, goes up, goes down. Some of us here are very fortunate, very lucky, very fortunate, have been to live life so happily, so easy with accessibility, while some are not so fortunate, having hardship every day, being bombarded by their thought, their environment, always making decisions that they regret, that hurt them, that stray them away from their loved ones, their community. So we ask our audience once again, why is it that life of our life and our seater's life so different? Why some up here and why some down here? And sea turtles, they have instinct, but why so different too? The Buddha said, it's because they cannot escape nature. For that nature have three. There are three different natures, three governing forces, governing characteristics that you will see all around you. The purest of which he explained. He said, to put it simply, to extract the purest form of nature, there are three. First one, he used the term in Pali, kusala, or good. Everything that is good. He said everything that is good comprised of characteristics such as prosperity, constructiveness, wholesomeness, prosperity, constructiveness in a wholesome way, wholesomeness, which bring about happiness, truly happy, free from suffering. And he said, if this is true, the opposite is also true, that there are a other side of the coin, where it is for destruction, unwholesomeness, and suffering, to opposite form in nature. But life is not like that, he argues. He said there's also something in between. You'll find that people in our life, there are those who live their life in such a way that everything that they think, that they plan, that they say, that they speak, always troubles them and troubles other people. hurt them, unwholesome, bring them pain now, in the present and in the future too. Men, women, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, kings, peasant, whatever label or identifier they put on them, you see that these people live down here. Everything they say, they do, they speak, you listen to them and you said, man, they might hurt themselves. If they keep acting out like this, they're not gonna have friends. They're gonna dispel all their loved ones. They're gonna be outcast by the community. You see them down here, unbiased, unsegregated, but united based on their life, their thought, speech, action revolving around destruction, unwholesomeness, suffering. In the opposite of the spectrum, the heroes are role models that we look up to. We praise them for their wonderful virtues. That men, women, educate or not, rich or poor, or no matter what label they put themselves, what flag, what allegiance they look up to, they always beautiful in their thought, speech, action. Always embodying prosperity, aiding, support, wholesomeness for themselves and other people. You find refuge, assurance, happiness when you meet this person. You find their words comforting, motivating, make you more passionate. You find that this is type of people that you want to become, want to look up to, want to befriend. For them, every time you be with them, you see your life changed for the better and better. And you yourself are becoming them when you get to know them. They're up here on the spectrum. The Buddha said when he was answered in the question, he said that it's true that these type of people exist, and we have a clear image of who they are in our minds. Our loved ones, our parents, our friends, family, some are up here, some down here. Our heroes, our enemies. But many of us live in the middle, where we are not a bad citizen, not a bad person, but we find ourselves living day by day, not improving much. He said that if you look at yourself, you are a good husband, a good wife, a good friend, but do you feel like you are the same person as you are today compared to 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago? If you say yes, then what confidence do you have that you will change 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now? You might be a good person, you might be a smart person, a person looked up by the community, but if you still remain the same, then you embody the third type of nature, the nature that is stagnant, doesn't do much, doesn't go up, go down, waste of time, and always pleasing oneself. You'll find that these people who finally achieve their craft, achieve their goal, they say, okay, I'm done. I got it. I got my friend. I got my wife. I got my husband. I able to achieve the goal of having a life with them, put a ring on it. Now I've learned this thing. I've mastered this craft, and they're done, and they're stuck. They are stuck, stagnant, always pleasing themselves. Parents who embody not good, not bad, always exhibit this type of behavior when their child go play some sport. They say, hey, little Tommy, go to that soccer game. Until Tommy tripped and fall and said, oh, no, Tommy, you're done. You no longer have to go to soccer game. Find that, try to please Timmy. I want Timmy to be good, but when something bad happened, say, Timmy, come back. That's enough. Don't have to be that good. You're perfect the way you are already. Same with ourselves when we say something bad to someone. We want to shout everything that's in our heart, but the voice say, hey, that's too much. And look at their face, you already hurt them a lot. They're on the edge of their tears already. So don't say too much. And this is kind of this boundary that we have on ourselves that is good, that stop us from being worse version of ourselves, but the thing is it hinders us from being a better of version of ourselves too. And that's the boundary that we want to break. That's why not good, not bad here. the type of nature is good to help not let us go backward, but it hinders us from going forward. That's why you see people like this. And people in society are mostly like this all the time. That's why in Western countries, we have the urge to travel, to explore, to experiment with new, different partners, different job opportunity, different country, different environment, different everything. Yeah. If have nothing, then talk to people, go to different education, different field study, different everything. Why is that? Why are humans so inherently adventurous or seeking for new things? The Buddha said, well, because the only reason for people to change, for them to truly not become stagnant and makes them move forward in their life, is that they need new important information. And he said, that's it. That is the key thing that people are looking for, new important information. It can be in any form, experiences that open your eyes, a new thing that open and widen your eyes, change the person who you are, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you behave. From meaningful conversation, from learning new things, from playing something, from anything at all. Once we get that new revelation, new information that totally change how your mind works, your pattern, everything, then you truly become a new person. But it have to be meaningful, have to be new, important, important, not new information, new important information. And in Buddhism, we say that this new important information is this story, the story of the sea turtle, because it is what governs human. Mhm. It is what pushed the sea turtles to different life, some prosperous, some destructive, some stagnant. And he said also pushes our life in that way too. Okay, before we go to the next segment, let me recap for a moment first. How about the keyword, key point here? The keyword of this small segment here is that the word instinct. Uh, it's not a new vocabulary, but I want you to know that instinct exists. It exists in these beings. And there is this instinct that governs these beings, but they are different outcome because the key point is that instincts govern being. Instincts govern beings, but because there are three different instincts, different natures, this being move to different outcome in their life, just like us, just like human. So that's the keyword, key point. Keyword are instincts is existent. Key point is that instinct controls being, and that which lead them to three different outcome, three different nature that exists within ourselves. The next story talks about how instinct still is alive within us, and how we are so different from other people. Even among our peers, we find ourselves good person already, but among good person alone, there are different intensity, different level of good people too. Why is that? So we're gonna talk about this second story of a man had to meet something very drastic. It's an extreme example, but it will highlight to you something important. A man coming back from his grocery, opening the door to his house, seeing that in that very moment a robber breaks into their house and starts clubbing down his wife, now who is holding tight on on their daughter, protecting her from the brutality of the robber. Her face all bloody. The daughter's blood on her face, tears coming down. The dad, the husband, sees them in the pitch of rage, eyes locked at the great robber, not the great, the robber that robs the house. I locked in and said, "I'm gonna kill you. How can you hurt my daughter? How can you hurt my wife? I'm gonna kill you." First instant thought come with rage right away. He stared at the robber for a million split second. Time in the real world moved very slowly to him, but the time in his mind moved very fast. The second moment comes in to break him from killing the man. The clarity said, "Don't do it. And that's too far." Using his moral to break him. Don't do it. The man had to decide in that split moment what to do. Do I go through with that anger or not to kill the guy, or should I stick to my moral? He chose to stick with his moral for now. Not even a second passed by, the anger come up again. Fine, you know what? Why don't you? Hey, there's a vase behind you, right? By your side, by your door. Pick it up and just smack him on the head. The anger said so, but the clarity come and stop him again. He said, "Don't do it. Don't do it. That's gonna lead you. That is not gonna lead you anywhere." For a second time, in that short moment, he had to decide again to go through with it or not. For him, he's not an angry person in nature. He's someone who's calm, collected. He chose not to do so. But anger still get the better of him. He said, "Well, then rush at him and just tackle him out." Anger said, the clarity said, "Hey, that's too far too. There's a better way to go about this." And he chose not to do for a third time. And you see, in his mind, back and forth, again and again, the anger and the clarity fighting. The anger trying to lowball him every time, reducing intensity from very intense to become more mild and mild and mild until it will give a few more options, so that in hope that one of the options that it gives will fit the moral, the acceptance of the man. And one of the options said, push the guy away, push the robber away. The man won't listen. He said, "You know what? Pushing, reasonable, no? Not gonna harm him too much, not gonna bring me criminal thing again afterwards. Sure, I will accept." And go forth with it. The key point of the story is not to debate his moral decision here, but to highlight the fact that he have to decide between two different voices in his head. One to go, one not to go, one to do, one not to do. We find ourselves being in the same position when we have to make very important decision, when we have to make an unfamiliar decision too, no? Or even a decision that might change how you live a little bit. A friend come up to you, you're here in this meditation retreat, practicing meditation, and your friends call you, "Hey, want to go to the beach?" But you're not done yet. So therefore, there's a voice in your head right now. "Hey, I'm here for meditation. You should stay, but your friend calls you now. You should go to the beach." Back and forth, back and forth. Why is this so important? It's important because human thinks these two voices are them, because they've been with it since the very beginning. In our life, when we are aware of it, we have been debating ourselves, talking to ourselves, scheming with ourselves what to do, where to go, what to. But the question is, who are you scheming with? Who are you talking to? Who are you consoling? Because there's so many different voices telling you what to do. The Buddha said, know clearly right here. Differentiate right here. Because these thoughts are not your own. For that, you didn't put any effort in creating. What does it mean? It means that when you calculate something, when you use your head, use your brain, you put effort. If I were to ask the class right now, give me a number now. What is 17 times 3? For those who are not good with maths, for me, for example, I have to sit down, okay, 17, right, 17, add the tens together, that's 30, then 7 times 3, then that's 21, then 30 plus 21, okay, that's 50, 51, 51, right? And it takes time, and it made me put effort into that thought. I know that this is my answer. It came out, put effort. I'm proud of it. But that's not how I live my life every day. I live my life all with effortless thoughts. There's a huge difference. You don't live your life like you have to make a mathematical equation every day, but we live our life from a thought that arises up normally. Sometimes alone, sometimes with feeling comes together. So the Buddha said differentiate thought. There are two, effortful and effortless. And he asked us, so the question is, your life dictated by what? Effortful or effortless thoughts? How many percent? When we think about our life, we said, oh, maybe almost 100%. Whenever a feeling comes up, I go through with it. Whenever a voice inside suggests me something, when I'm bored, for example, tells me, hey, wanna go make a sandwich? Wanna go watch a movie? I said, sure, go off. Always being inviting, being accepting of these voices. Yeah. People don't see the significant, don't see what's the issue, what's the trouble, until they find themselves in times, in situations where these are the voices that hurt them. These are the voices that bring back memories. These are the voices that paint the picture in something that they don't want to listen to. When you're down and really low, your voice, this voice sounds like you, exactly like you, will tell you how weak you are, how incompetent you are, how unflattering you are, how ugly you are, how incompetent, how shallow, how everything tell to you. Even human, we want to say we are done. We don't want to listen to it anymore. We want to put it aside. But no matter how much you brush it off, come back. Underwriting, come back, come back, come back. Even when we are recovering, we are healing. We think that, you know what, today will be a good day until the words come up again. Hey, I'm still here. Remember, you did that 3 days ago. You did that shameful thing 3 days ago. What? No. I thought today I was going to have a good day until destroyed by this one thought. The question becomes then, if you believe that it's your own thought, then why are you self-sabotaging? If you believe that it's your thought, then just stop thinking. But in reality, that's not your thought. Psychiatrists also agree. When people who cannot live life like this anymore, bombarded by thought, cannot eat, cannot sleep, cannot work, have to go there to say, hey, doc, every single day these voices keep telling me to hurt myself, to bring about the end of my life to myself. I'm so scared, I'm shivering. I can't even cross the road, worrying that the voices say, jump out, jump out, jump out. Without knowing what to do, there are many places who prescribe medication to stop the voices. True, there are physical anomaly to the brain, hormones here and there releasing. But we are not talking about the brain because we talk about the thing behind the brain, our mind. The phenomenon happens behind the scene. These voices is the same voice that also aid you when you're down. They'll tell you that you're fine, you're okay. Tell you what to do, where to go. Tell you a solution, a way out. We will find this clearly for those who travel before, or those who are in a situation where they've been there for the first time. For example, your first date, your first travel, your first whatever it is. The one who say, hey, why don't you buy her this cake? Why don't you go here? Hey, you want to go to movies? This and that. Or when you're lost somewhere in a new city, in an environment, you said, ah, man, such a big city. I'm just a, a rural guy coming to the big city. What should I do? And the wife say, hey, look at that person wearing that uniform. Why don't you go ask them? Hey, this street, you know what? You want to go to this building, right? This street may have a way out. So you follow this intuition, this instinct of yours to go here, go there, without relying on your pre-existing knowledge. Instinct comes only when, your gut feeling only comes when your past information no longer serves you. Nothing that you learn, you experience, you heard before, nothing aid you. You work on your instinct. Now you find that humans who are lost in the jungle, in a cave, in an environment, who talk alone, they will use their instinct a lot, their gut feeling. Tell me to go here, go there. But who's telling them to go here, go there? Who's telling them to a way out? And finally, it's not every time that our instinct tells us to do the right thing. It's not every time that our gut feeling is right. Why is that? Comes back to how the sea turtle live once again. When they hatch out of the shell, they have no idea what to do, but it's this gut feeling inside them that say, hey, let's go down to the sea. Right? They heard the seashore, the wave crashing, hey, that's nice. They see a habitat. Their eyes scanning left and right and say, hey, that looks nice. Why don't I go sleep there? Oh, this green, let's eat it. Oh, that's purple thing that is swimming. Don't go touch that. Don't go eat that. That's gonna hurt you, or that fish gonna harm you. Look at that scary face. Don't go there. Even the face might not be scary, but for them, the voice say that's very scary. Don't go there. Our life dictated by this. When you heard someone say something, the voice inside say, oh, you see, he have a meaning behind those words. Nah. He said it because he don't like you, because you did something wrong. He knew what you did wrong. When you see some guy saying something nice, sarcastic, he's just putting a facade, a mask over his face. When someone bragging, when someone not bragging but telling their accomplishment, you say, man, this guy, such a brag. The what say? You see your significant other, your loved one, being cozy with a person of the opposite gender. Man, is he trying to hit up with my girl or something? I'm sorry, but this is what people think without them realizing it. Come all shy or sneaky, but because they chose to believe them, that become reality to them. And when they go back home, they confront their significant other. Hey, what's your intention? Or they go to their friend, hey dude, back off, man, back off. All because they listen to these voices that is not them. That is void of logic or with emotion. Before we go on to the next one, I want to conclude this small second here. We start off with talking about the voices of the man, to do, not to do. The keyword of this story, the key point is that voice exists. Voice that sounds exactly like you exists. That's the keyword. The key point is that it dictates how you live, or rather, it presents you with options that you have to decide. It governs you, it manipulates you, it talks to you so that you say, okay, you say yes, you accept them. You'll find that in the previous example of a man being jealous of his significant other and his best friend, when he see his SO being comfy, the wife say, look at her, look at his best friend, the way they look at each other, this and that, trying to make you accept, explaining to you what's going on. It is your job to accept. But because it sounds like you, and you don't know that, and who else could it be without you, right? Who else could it be? You accept every single one of them. Yes, no. I have to talk to my wife after this. I have to talk to my friend after this. Because of how they look at each other, blah, blah, blah. This is what makes us so different. Some of us have many thoughts that is destructive, that is hurtful, that is unwholesome. The more of that thought you are, the more of that person you become. And in that spectrum that I mentioned before, you move down the spectrum. Move down, move down, move down. Sometimes you find that your thoughts are wholesome. You want to help, you want to be lively, you want to improve, you move up the ladder to this side of the spectrum. Most people, they want to please themselves. They want to endure. They say, if my marriage doesn't work, let's find a new husband, a new wife. If my group of friends doesn't work, I ditch them, find a new one. If my job doesn't work, ditch them, go find a new job. My home doesn't work, let's travel. Pleasing every day, every day. And it's this voice to tell them, hey, want to try this one, try that one out. So within us, we have our three natures, our three instincts. And we hear them differently, depending on how much of it we have. Everyone have different ratio. Ratio of good, ratio of bad, ratio of not good, not bad. That's why when I talked about a bit earlier of how if you put yourself If you think that you're a good person and you put yourself in a group of good people, you find that there'll be a ranking of how good people are. This person, the best of the best, the good of the good. This person, middle of the pack. This person, the worst kind of person, but still a good person. Because the best of the best have more good nature inside them than the worst of the best. They also have good, but not as much as the best of the best. No. So, in ourselves, in our people, we have different ratios. And this is the two stories I want to talk about today. Go back and learn, go back and revise. Think it through. It's not just a story, but a case study. It's a case study about yourself, about other people, about why life is so different, why life is so difficult, and why you find yourself being up here sometime, being down here sometime, being in the middle most of the time. Why is that? So therefore, before we end off, a bit of homework. Draw a line. Draw a line right now and put on the left corner, on top put say bad, and the bottom of that line, write down its characteristic. So you see a line here, and you put 3 notes, 1, 2, 3, and on the top of the left note you write bad. The bottom you write its characteristic, destruction, unwholesomeness, suffering. That's so that you are clear in what it is. In the opposite end, on top you write good. Its characteristic, prosperity, constructiveness, wholesome, happiness. And in the middle, right, not good, not bad. NG, NB, short form, as I like to use. Stagnation, waste of time, or amounts to nothing, and a pleaser. And you can put a box. That's a box right in the middle. A box here signify that they're not good or bad, wants you to be in this framework, in this box. When you want to do something good, they'll say, hey, you already do good, don't do too much, come back, come back. If we want to do something bad, they say, hey, don't do too much, come back, come back. So this box will help you understand a bit better of the not good, not bad. The word pleaser means this. So not go too far off. And you look at yourself. Where are you on the spectrum? Who are you normally? Who are you? What's your normality here? And then know clearly of your thought. Just by practicing what you've been practicing for the past 2 weeks. Order your mind to know clearly of your body, of your mind. Because when you're conscious of yourself, when thought comes up, you know that, oh, there's thought. When you're conscious about your body, about your mind, whenever effortless thought comes up, you know that, oh, there are thoughts right now. This is where you're gonna study and learn. This thought, is it bad, good, or not good, not bad? And you can put a tally there. Every day you can count the thought. You can count them or just have a like a sense of it. And you can then put yourself in a spectrum. Today I have 10 bad thoughts, 20 not good, not bad, and 1 good thought. So you can put yourself right in the middle, or maybe a bit toward the bad too, because 10 bad, 20 not good, not bad. Now you can find yourself here. You find that throughout the day, you have a lot of good thoughts, a lot of not good, not bad, but 0 bad thought. You can put somewhere in between good and not good, not bad. This will help highlight to you the different of thought that you have. The significance of this is that it is the thought that dictates your life. When you think first, then you speak. You think first, then you act. So therefore, thinking is from inside, but speaking and acting affect the outside world. So when we talk about yourself, we often talk about what we do and what we say, never what we think. And this is why we can come back and look at what we think first. Because thinking is the cause that create the effect from talking and doing. Now we're gonna look back. Why are we like this? Why are we saying these things, doing that thing? We're gonna look back at the cause right here. Right. So that's the homework for this class. If there's any question, please do write it down to ask, so that this is very important. Just like the previous lesson as a basis of foundation, this is the foundation for what's to come as well. So therefore, take the time to look back, revise, follow through. Follow through. Don't look at it as a story, but a case study. And ask yourself, true or not. This will for your own benefit. If you see the benefit in this, I believe that you do so. So therefore, thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.